Meeting of the Washington County Board of Commissioners is now in session pursuant to adjournment. The Honorable Chairman, Greg Mendelese presiding. Come to order, remain standing.
Thank you, Sheriff. First order of business this evening is our prayer led by Commissioner Huffine and our pledge led by Commissioner Malone. Commissioner Huffine.
Let us bow our heads. Dear Lord, we come before you today with humble thanks for all the blessings that you provide us daily. Dear Lord, we ask you a couple special requests tonight. Be with two of our commissioners, that one is recovering from some surgery and one is dealing with some illness in the family. Lord, please just comfort them, put your arms around them, let them know that you're always there for them, dear Lord. And Lord, as we begin this spring season with everything sprouting, growing, turning green, guide us so that our love and dedication to you will be renewed, and we will focus on living our lives in a manner that honors you. As we conduct the business of our county tonight, please empower us to make the decisions to follow your directions. In Jesus' name, we ask these things. Amen.
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 You'll face the flag and join me in honoring America.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our next item is a roll call. If you'll indicate on the screen that you are present this evening. We have 11 present, 4 absent. We do have a quorum. We do, we'll move right on into approving our agenda this evening. One item on the agenda is the proclamation for Mr. Lewis. They've requested that proclamation be removed and added to the May meeting. I have no other changes to report to the agenda. Do I have a motion with that item removed? Motion made by Commissioner Tucker, seconded by Commissioner Wexler. Any question or discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, and the agenda is approved. Allison, if you'll be sure and add that to our May agenda.
We'll be happy to push it forward.
All right, thank you. We will go ahead and move into our public comment period. Public comments regarding agenda items. Each individual shall be given 3 minutes to address the board regarding items that appear on our agenda this evening. Comments should be limited to the items on the meeting's agenda, and we will go ahead and get started. I'll go ahead and turn on our public mic. Be sure and talk into the microphone, please. I have several people out there in YouTube world that can't hear. So they said that one of the things I heard this week was if you'd speak into the microphone. Our first speaker this evening of the 4 is Laurie. Laurie, I'm not going to try to say your last name.
Sorry, you don't have to.
But you can tell the clerk your full name and give your address to the clerk when you come up to the podium right there.
I got it. The clerk is where?
She's right here, Miss
Okay,
Story.
my name is Laurie, Laurie. The last name is Levconnect, Lev is in Victor, Knecht.
Thank you.
Just like it sounds. 18 Tall Tale Lane, Jonesboro.
You go ahead, Laura.
It's good to meet everybody. I am the vice chair of the Library Board of Trustees. I wanted to fill you in on the director search process. Some of you probably know that our director is going to be leaving in August. I am the chair of that search committee. We have met. We have a process in place. We've relooked at the job description. We have a posting that we anticipate will go out probably on Wednesday after it's approved at the trustee board of directors meeting. Our hope is that we interview in May and June, so applications open through April, interview in May and June. make a choice in July, and hopefully have a new director on board by April 1st. This is a fantastic position, I think. If you know a professional, somebody who is a professional in the library world, who wants to be involved with as you all know, an active, a growing community, an active and involved board of trustees, a fantastic staff at our Washington County Library, and lots of facility opportunities. As you well know, this would be a great position, for somebody who wants to move in that direction. My goal is to keep you updated as you need to know with how the director search is going. Feel free to contact me. Information is available through the Board of Trustees if you have any thoughts in terms of what you'd like to see as a director. And again, if you know anybody, my anticipation is that position will be posted pretty soon. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
All right. Thank you, Lori. All right. Our next speaker is Cindy Kite. Cindy, if you'll come forward and give your name and address to the clerk, please.
Hello, my name is Cindy Kipe and I live at 107 Fawnwood Court in Jonesboro. And this is my first time in front of a commission. Thank you for letting me have this opportunity. I recently joined the Library Foundation, which is an organization set up to raise funds for capital issues, improvements, changes at the Washington County Library. I understand from recent meetings that the board is considering a couple proposals for moving the books from the Gray Library from the existing facility to the new facility. And from my understanding is that one of the proposals involves hiring a service that has these rolling carts where you can take the books off the shelf, slap them on the cart, drive them down, put them back on the shelves. And the other one is to use the Dirty Street Fighters. And I just wanted to say that, in my opinion, that the rolling carts would be the better option. And this is based on my experience in moving my personal library several times, which numbers only about 1,000 books compared to what the Gray Library has, which is 35,000 plus books. The amount of time it takes to pack up the books, even with the Dirty Street Fighters, it's going to take considerable effort and time away from the library staff to make sure that those books are on the shelves in the proper order and available for customers. And at the same time, while they're doing that, they will not be able to give the proper attention to their regular duties, which, when this move happens, they will be heavily involved with the children's program, which I understand is quite active up in Gray. And so it would be a lot of extra work on a staff that's already going to be stretched for this move. I'd like to thank you again for allowing me this opportunity.
Thank you, Ms. Kite. Our next speaker is Jennifer Murray. Jennifer, if you'll come forward to the podium and give your address to the clerk.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Murray. I live at 106 Carmel Drive, Johnson City. I'm the Children's Program Coordinator for the Washington County Public Library System. I go between Gray and Jonesboro on a weekly basis, and I just want to let this commission know that your libraries are thriving in the sense that they are well-loved and well-utilized by the community. Our front desk staff are adding new users daily, fielding phone calls, providing technology assistance, answering reference questions and more, all while maintaining the circulation of our carefully curated collections. We offer programs for babies all the way up through adulthood to foster a lifelong love of reading and learning. I personally am serving upwards of 300 patrons a month with our preschool story times alone, not to mention the monthly programs I offer for school-age kids and families. Even in the midst of moving an entire library, we are pivoting our plans for summer reading to focus on online reading participation and seeking partnerships within the community to provide off-site field trip programming to keep kids engaged with books and reading during the summer months. I say all of this because I believe that a community's libraries can be a jewel in their crown with the proper support and investment. We are on the cusp of what has the potential to be a really exciting time of growth for the Gray Library. And I would like to issue an open invitation to every member of this commission to come and visit our libraries to see the important work that's happening. Preschool story times are an especially magical time, not that I'm biased at all. And I guarantee you will leave with a smile. Story times are at 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. on Tuesdays at Gray and Fridays at Jonesboro. And I would welcome any of you to drop in and observe them. If you'd like to read to the children, we could arrange that as well. And while you're there, I'd encourage you to sign up for a library card if you don't already have one, and give us a chance to show you why the work we are doing is essential to our community. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Jennifer. Our next speaker is Jerome Bowers. Jerome, if you'll come forward to the podium, please. I think we've seen you here before.
A couple times. Jerome Bowers, 177 Highway 81 North, Jonesboro, Tennessee. I'm currently the chair of the Washington County Library Board. First, I just want to thank everybody here for your part in helping us get this new Gray Library. And we're all excited to increase our services for Washington County. The current Gray Library receives over 100 guests a day, and over 250 items are checked out daily. The library is currently seeing a growth of 11% over the previous year, and we're expected to see a 20% increase, and that's based on what our specialist who came in, library specialist, said that's normally what libraries will see after moving or relocating. The current schedule has the library construction happening in 2 phases. Phase 1 will be finished on June 27th and will encompass most of the library. The library has to be completely moved in by June 30th. The current budget does not include new flooring for the library. So the carpet there right now is showing heavy signs of wear. They have taken all the cubicles out, but you can still see in the carpet where the hallways were and where the cubicles sat. There's multiple tears in the carpet. Carpet is actually coming up. It'll have to be re-glued back down. We're fortunate enough that we think we're going to be able to come up with the money to pay for the main area of the library, but we're asking you guys to reconsider paying for the additional carpeting. So right now, to replace all carpeting is $68,600. The main area will cost $20,870. So we're looking for an additional $47,730 to replace all the flooring inside the library. That will start this library out with brand new flooring throughout the whole facility. Right now will be the lowest the cost will ever be to replace this flooring. Material costs are going to go up, and once we're inside the library, you're going to have to pay someone to move the furniture, potentially move the stacks or whatever it's going to take to put the new flooring in. Another item we would like you to reconsider is the family restroom in the children's area. This provides a safe and secure place for families, parents, children to go to the facilities inside the children's space without having to go outside the children's area and across the library. The bid for this is only $4,000, and we could have a private family restroom in the children's area. Our new shelving is expected to arrive on June 19th. Installation of this shelving is depending on the construction and how fast it goes. Potentially, our shelving may not be able to go up until June 27th. That leaves us 3 days to move the books from one facility to the next. We can move the office furniture, we can move the loose items, but to move those books in a cost-effective and an easier manner and make sure nothing gets lost or out of place, the professional moving company is what we need. That's what's on the agenda tonight. We would appreciate it if you would consider that. There's a lot of books, and there's a lot of ways that these books can get out of place if we're moving them in boxes that we get from Ingalls. But thank you for your time. If you have any questions, I'll be available after the meeting.
All right. Thank you, Jerome. That will conclude our public comment period. And we will move directly on to the public hearing for rezoning. We have a couple of rezonings this evening. Our first rezoning is rezoning resolution number 230101 is a resolution rezoning the tax map 12I in the 12th Civil District, presently owned by Susan Masters and Bruce Rowans. Is there anyone here to speak in favor of this request? Is there anyone? Okay, gentlemen, if you'll come forward to the podium and give your name and address to the clerk, please. You'll have 3 minutes.
Hello, my name is Bruce Rosenheim, and I'm looking to have a rezoned area as you guys have in front of you. We're looking to expand this small pie section for increased parking to have a sufficient parking for the two buildings that we'd like to construct. One will be a medical clinic and another will be a restaurant. And in order to do that, we just need this small slice to have rezoned into the residential back of it. It's abutted by both B3 as well on both sides, and it's right on Old Gray Station Road. Don't know what else. I wasn't prepared to talk. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You didn't have to. We just,
But,
you're here to
that's
speak
what-
in
that's
favor
what
of it.
we're- Yeah, so that's what we're looking to do, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. All right, the other gentleman that wanted to come forward? Okay. All right. All right. Anyone else? All right. Who would like to speak is there anyone here that would like to speak in opposition to the request? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to the next resolution. That's resolution 250302. It's a resolution rezoning the tax map 074 in the third civil district, owned by April Collins and Sherry White. Is there anyone here to speak in favor of this rezoning? Ma'am, if you'll come forward and give your name and address to the clerk.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sherry Gale White. I live at 106 Lou Fox Drive in Telford. April Collins and I are requesting the rezoning for this piece of property. It's a little over 7 acres. At some point, since we have purchased it, it was rezoned to R1, and we were asking for it to be rezoned to A1. If we keep the property, we are planning on building 2 homes. With the property zoned at R1, even though it is over 7 acres, only 1 home can be built on this property. We do have a potential buyer, and they're wanting to do the same thing. They want to build a home for themselves and also a separate stick-built house for their daughter and son-in-law as well. Right now, again, only 1 home could be built on the R1 zoning. So that's why we're asking for the A1 rezoning. On all 4 sides, there is A1 zoning, and I believe on one side there's A1 and R1 low density residential. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. White. Is there anyone else here to speak in favor of? All right, seeing none, is there anyone here to speak in opposition to? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing and go back into regular session. Ms. Charles, if you'll come forward and answer any questions the commissioners may have on this rezone.
Thank you. As you heard, your first rezoning request is for property on Suncrest Street, and that area that's going to be rezoned will be combined into existing commercially zoned property. So we'll have 2 lots that are suitable for commercial development. The second rezoning on your agenda tonight is in Telford, and that is a 7-acre tract of land, and the request is to rezone that to A1, so it will accommodate a second single-family dwelling on the property. The Planning Commission reviewed both of these rezoning requests at their March meeting and recommended approval unanimously. Be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Andy. We appreciate all your hard work on these. All right. We'll go on to consider the first one, resolution number 250301 is a resolution rezoning the tax map 12I in the 12th Civil District presently owned by Susan Masters and Bruce Rowenson. Motion made by Commissioner Malone. Seconded by, was that you, Commissioner Huffine? Commissioner Huffine? Sometimes I get mixed up between Commissioner Wexler and Commissioner Huffine's arm. That's about all I see sometimes. Well, you know, you just gotta be easy. Easy now. The lady from the library was talking about storytellers. I didn't tell them that we had some very qualified individuals. So, not referring to you, Commissioner Wexler. All right, so we have a motion and second on the floor. Question or discussion? Question's been called. Madam Clerk, if you'll switch us to the voting screen, please. Go ahead and cast your vote and lock it in. Madam Clerk, if you'll announce the vote. 11 yes, 4 absent, and the resolution passes. The next resolution is Resolution 250302, is a resolution rezoning the tax map in 074, the 3rd District, presently owned by April Collins and Sherry White. We have a motion. Motion by Commissioner Wexler, seconded by Commissioner Tomita. Question or discussion? Question's been called. Madam Clerk, if you'll switch us to the voting screen, go ahead and cast your vote and lock it in. Madam Clerk, if you'll announce the vote, 11 yes, 4 absent, and the resolution passes. That will conclude our resolutions that we considered in public hearing. And we'll move right on to special recognitions and proclamations. Our first one, A, was moved until the May meeting. And our second one, Commissioner Carter is here to present this one to the recognizing the week of April 7th as the National Public Health Week. And we have Director Butterfield here from the Health Department this evening to accept it.
Mayor Randy's voices like it normally is, so they want me to read this, and it's really small writing. And just to let you know, I thought I could see. You need glasses? No, I've never needed glasses, but I've aged a lot tonight because I was talking to Kevin on the way in, and I saw that my hair's gone. So I've never really paid attention to that. So tonight I've gone bald and my eyes have gone bad.
Listen, I'm not saying anything after Commissioner Wexler has made his comment about his hair. I'm not going there anymore.
Commissioner Carter, it only gets worse.
I think I can read this. Sydney, thank you for coming up here. And this proclamation is to recognize the week of April 7th, 2025 as National Public Health Week. Whereas the week of April 7th, 2025 is National Public Health Week, and the theme is It Starts Here, highlighting the importance of making a difference in our home, community, and state. And whereas this year is the 30th anniversary of celebrating National Public Health Week, and in the past 30 years, significant strides have been made in public health, including the following public health successes. Number 1, smoking rate, which were as high as 25.5% among U.S. adults in 1994, have now fallen to 11.4% due to the comprehensive smoke-free policies, public awareness campaigns, and taxation of tobacco products. Number 2, childhood mortality, which was at a rate of 13.8 deaths per 1,000 live births in 1994, has now fallen to 5.4 deaths per 1,000 live births due to vaccine and better health access and nutrition. Number 3, mental health awareness and treatment, with 40% of people with mental health conditions being untreated in 1994 has progressed with increased awareness, parity laws, and integration into primary care, which have expanded access to mental health services and reduced treatment gaps. Number 4, health impacts of climate change, such as arising heat-related deaths, were under-recognized in 1994, but now are being mitigated by actions such as public health campaigns, local adoption plans, including cooling centers and other prepared plans to protect the public from extreme weather, wildfires, and regional threats and global frameworks like the Paris Agreement. And number 5, pandemic preparedness, which was in its infancy in 1994, has now grown, especially after the COVID-19 pandemic, spurring significant advancements in mRNA technology, global vaccine deployment, and increased investments in infrastructure, stockpiles, and global surveillance, all of which must be sustained. And whereas racial and ethnic minority populations in the United States continue to experience disparity in the burden of illness and death as compared with the entire population of the United States. And whereas persons' health status can differ drastically by zip code due to differences in the built environment, environmental quality, community context, access to healthy food, access to education, and access to health care. And whereas public health organizations use National Public Health Week to educate public policymakers, public health professionals, and public on issues that are important to improving the health of the people of the United States. And whereas public health professionals help communities prevent, prepare for, withstand, and recover from the impact of a full range of health threats, ranging from infectious disease outbreaks to natural disaster preparedness. And whereas efforts to adequately support public health and the prevention of disease and injury can continue to transform a health system focusing on treating illness into a health system focused on preventing disease and injury and promoting wellness. Be it proclaimed by the Board of County Commissioners of Washington County, Tennessee, that we do hereby recognize the week of April 7th through the 13th, 2025, as National Public Health Week in Washington County, and call upon the people of Washington County, Tennessee to observe the week by helping our families, friends, neighbors, co-workers, and leaders to recognize the contribution of public health in, number 1, improving the health of the people of our state and achieving health equity. As the theme states, it starts here. Adopted by the county legislative body in session duly assembled on this day, the 24th day of March, 2025, William J. Grandy, County Mayor. Congratulations, Sydney.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to approve the proclamation? Motion made by Commissioner Malone, seconded by Commissioner Jones. All in favor of approving the proclamation signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. And the proclamation's approved. Sydney?
Thank you all for your consistent support for the health department. Some things that we're doing during Public Health Week include hosting a health fair for our community that has a bunch of community partners. I think we have about 30 signed up. And so that'll be the Tuesday, April 8th at 4:30. And then we're also doing 2 days of the rabies vaccine clinic for your pets. No, that was a question last year. So Robinson Animal Hospital is doing vaccines on site after hours on April 8th and 9th for $15. So we're excited to have some public health outreach. And again, thank you all for your support for all of our outreach efforts.
Thank you
Also,
very much.
Measles, can't not talk about it. If anyone comes to you guys asking about vaccines, you can direct them to the health department. They can call, they can walk in. If they're not sure of their shot their shot records if they haven't gotten the vaccine, if they need it. We're happy to help. So we are prepared and ready to educate and get those vaccines out to those who need it. Thank you guys.
Right, thank you. Mr. Carter, you've done a great job. You gotta be careful about doing a great job on proclamations, you know, I mean, a lot of, but you've done a great job. Thank you for doing that, Commissioner Carter.
Can we make a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I mean, he's the backup, right, Commissioner Tamita?
The mayor be the backup.
Mayor be the backup, Commissioner Carter be the lead. All right, we'll move right on to our minutes now. We have minutes from our special called Board of Commissioners meeting on February 24th at 5:30. And then remember, the same evening we met again on February 24th with our regular session. Do I have a motion to approve these minutes? Motion made by Commissioner Huffine, seconded by Commissioner Wexler. No?
Have a
Oh,
adjustment there, please, sir, if I may.
all right.
While it was not in the written record, and I've already turned from our attorney, it's a matter of proper order here. In the audio video, Mr. Chairman, the letter that you read from the Washington County Johnson City Animal Shelter incorrectly stated that I had resigned from the Animal Control Board. I just want to clarify, I did not resign. I've completed my full term as appointed by this commission. And so it was time to replace me. A gentleman came forward and filled out the application. So that was the process. Just want to make sure we get that into the record correctly.
I appreciate you bringing that to my attention, Commissioner, because I did have the county attorney prepare a letter to the president of the Animal Control Board addressed from myself as the representative of Washington County Commission. We did address this issue with the president of the Animal Control Board and Animal Control Board itself. And I handed it, like I said, in our meeting, I hand delivered that letter to them. We had a chance to review it and I feel like we're good. They understand where we're coming from. I just want to make sure when we do put out a letter, whether anything, it's correct. And Commissioner Huffine, I appreciate you bringing that to my attention. I appreciate our county attorney doing all that work on that. And thank you so much, Allison, again. And but I think that's resolved, and as long as Commissioner Huffine felt good about that, we'll be moving forward.
Thank you for maintaining my integrity and more importantly, the integrity of this full commission. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right. Commissioner Jones.
Yeah, we'll be.
No,
No, 9A fell off to the May meeting.
are we approving the minutes from the special call meeting?
We're going to do them both.
Oh, together. Okay.
If that's what y'all normally do, and I try not to get,
That's fine.
I try not to do anything not normal.
Second. I second it.
Okay. So Commissioner Huffine, or Commissioner Wexler, did you approve?
Yeah.
Yes. And Commissioner Jones was the second. And that is both sets of minutes. So if anybody has any questions or anything about either set, now is the time to do that. All right. Seeing no questions, all in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Seeing no opposition, that motion passes as corrected by the letter. All right. Move right on to elections, appointments, and confirmations. Our first resolution is 250303, is a resolution appointing and or reappointing members to the Communications Task Force. Do we have a motion? Motion by Commissioner Wexler, seconded by Commissioner England to approve the resolution. Questions or discussion?
Call the question.
Questions been called? Madam Clerk, if you'll switch us to the voting screen. Go ahead and cast your vote and lock it in. Madam Clerk, if you'll announce the vote. 11 yes, 4 absent, and the resolution passes. The second item is Resolution 250304, is a resolution appointing a member to the Washington County Board of Zoning Appeals. Motion by Commissioner Malone, second by Commissioner Wexler. Question? Question's been called. Madam Clerk, switch us to the voting screen, please. Madam Clerk, if you'll announce the vote. 11 yes, 4 absent, and the resolution passes. The county mayor's report. Mayor Grandy is here. He may not be able to talk too much, Mayor, but
Just a quick update from the recovery effort. James Hanson, who is normally here, had a family issue come up at the last minute, but he reports that there were 435 total homes affected, and of those, 400 have been contacted to date. 132 have been assigned to volunteer navigators, and 268 have been contacted through the partnership with Ballard and determined that they have no further needs. So in terms of construction, today we are at 46 homes under construction or completely built, and 23 upcoming for construction in the process. You may recall that the long-term recovery group received a very significant grant to fund their internal operations, so none of the money is it comes to them is being used for administrative components, and they have received $129,432 in addition to help individuals in survival. A very special call out. It's amazing. We've seen this stuff before, but it just sometimes you just wonder. Grace Baptist Church in Springfield, Tennessee reached out and wanted to bring a bunch of volunteers to help. At the end of the day, they brought in 72 volunteers for a 4-day build. And so James and his team were able to coordinate footers and block before they got here. And in 100 hours, they had 2 homes ready to move into. That's pretty amazing. So we've seen, the Bristol Bill deal, and that's, but that's controlled environment. This is out there in the river and basically by volunteers. So I think that's pretty amazing. So,
absolutely.
A lot of good stuff going on. And so if anybody has a question, I'll take a swing at it. Alan Bach is back here with IEM if anybody needs a really smart person.
All right.
Mayor, thanks for the update. I was going to ask if you would have Sherry perhaps or James share with us maybe a contact person at that church. I know I'd like to send a thank you, and perhaps other commissioners would do so, or perhaps even those.
Great idea, we'll make it happen. We've already sent out something, but if everybody does it, it'd be awesome.
Yeah, great, thank you.
Yeah, they let me off the hook. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mayor. We hope you get feeling better. Our next item is our county attorney's report. Ms. Wilkins.
Good evening. I did not bring you a full report on any particular matter. I have left a memorandum for you on some recent business that you have, and I will just tell you, I'll email it to you so that you have it. Should you find a reference to a commissioner, it is a typographical error that came from my copying and pasting. So I'll just draw attention to a mistake that I made in case when you read it, it causes you confusion. It's just 2 words that are in there. So there's no commissioner reference. Does that make sense? All right. So if you have any questions about anything about that or any of the business, just reach out and let me know. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Any questions for Ms. Wilkinson? All right. Our Director of the Health Department, Ms. Butterfield, did you have anything else to add? I don't think she did. The Director of Schools, Director Boyd.
Good evening. Normally at this time of the month, sent you the memo. Hopefully you've had a chance to review any of the information. And if you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer those. if no questions, I just, you have one item on the agenda from, that's come through you and the budget committee. Just want to, thank the committees for their consideration and allowing us to access those educational capital funds and request your, obviously the full commission's consideration to move forward with that. The request is to address it, to upgrade the HVA system, not the complete system. We spent, we in the internal systems, we replaced all of those in our high schools. We used ESSER dollars to do that. This is the external system, the water system, to exchange the heat. It's currently old geothermal system that's failing, and we have a design to replace it with a standard, efficient boiler and chiller system that would be on the outside of the building. If you have any questions or not, as always, be glad to entertain those. Yes.
Spring break, you don't get out a week like kids?
Well, you schedule, if I had scheduled vacation, I could, but usually it's a good opportunity to catch up. As especially this time of year, we're about to go into the final weeks of school. Our teachers and students have worked hard and unfortunately are going to spend the next several weeks focused on assessments. I mean, the fortunate part is they get the opportunity to demonstrate their proficiency. The unfortunate part is all the time and attention that's put on state assessment. But
we probably need a week off.
okay, well, I'll pass that along to the Board of Education. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Director Boyd, we appreciate the opportunity to meet with the board and you last month and learning a lot about the needs of the school system and coming up with through the budget time this year. I just want to say thank you for leading the charge on that and the board leading and being there and putting that together. That's a lot of work and we really appreciate that. And maybe it's something we need to do annually. We used to do that some, but we really need to get back to doing that more frequently.
Certainly, and I appreciate everyone that was able to attend, and we certainly had a large number of commissioners that were joined us, and the board members having time to discuss, and it is an important opportunity to come together and just focus on, one focus. You all, as a commission, have a lot of focus areas, and to give us the time to allow us to highlight some of the needs and just some of the direction of the board and of the school system. I appreciate your time very much. Thank you.
It was really good for us. All right, any further questions for Director?
I want to welcome, she's not here, of course, but the Johnson City Board of Education has chosen a new superintendent director of schools. I look forward to Dr. Slater joining the community, and what I understand it'll be July, but I've already reached out to her if there's anything I can do to help her in her transition. But we certainly look forward to meeting her. And hopefully we can get her to this body and introduce her.
Yes, please bring her down when she gets here. I'm sure she'll have a lot to do.
I'll extend that invitation.
You do that. You do that. Thank you so much, Director. All right, we're going to move on down to the Administrator of Elections. Sheila, are you here tonight? All right. Any questions for Sheila Hayes, our still interim Sheila? Yes, still an interim director there at the Election Commission. Any questions for Sheila? Thank you, Sheila, for being here, but seeing no questions, we appreciate you coming. Our next item is the CIA, or the Commercial, Industrial, and Agricultural Committee. Commissioner Wexler?
Yes. We met on March 6th, and besides the minutes that are in your package, we have a resolution 250305, resolution approving a memorandum of understanding between Bridge and Washington County, Tennessee for Tri-Cities Airport Passenger Air Service Development Project and committing $240,000 in fiscal year 2026 for regional air service development opportunities from funds generated by recently enacted hotel motel tax. There's a sheet in your packet that describes the reasoning for the guarantee and, answer any questions, or we have a gentleman here from Bridge that can answer questions.
And if I may, Commissioners, I'll just point out, that was a great summary. In the resolution, it does recite a 2-year term, and that's what would be approved in 250305. So it does go over 2 separate years, and that's spelled out in about the 5th whereas. Thank you.
And I wanted to put this as a motion.
All right, motion to approve the resolution. Do we have a second? Second by Commissioner Jones.
I do have a question then.
Commissioner Jones?
As someone from this committee, or maybe Commissioner Wexler, is this like seed funding to get the airline like off the ground? Is that how it's being used to go to the airline?
Let me get this for Rose.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I don't,
He is more attuned to answering the questions than I am, because he does this all the time.
I couldn't hear the question, so.
Sure, the handout was very helpful, but it talks about committing to funding the air service project. And I just wondered, is that but like seed funding to help the airline itself get the project going over a couple of years, or?
It's what was called a minimum revenue guarantee. So post-COVID, airlines figured out that they don't need to run planes at a lower percent of fullness. So right now they're running like at 85% full out of Tri-Cities Airport. And to help get new routes, not the airline, but new routes off the ground, they approach cities, counties, airport representatives, in our case, a nonprofit, to develop a fund to help incentivize and attract that airline to add service at our airport. The airport is legally not allowed to raise funds to recruit a specific airline. Being FAA rules prevent that. So this would recruit a new airline to the market. It would allow us to reach 2 major markets directly with multiple flights weekly. So it's not seed money. It is an incentive to attract a new airline with new service to the market.
Okay, thank you.
As all of the, Commissioner Lowe?
Thanks for being here tonight, Mr. Bruce. I thought it might be beneficial for others, bringing those in the audience, to mention that Washington County is one of a number of investment partners in this project. And then 2, that while these dollars are committed, it doesn't necessarily mean that they will be spent. They'll be spent if that minimum revenue is not obtained by the airline. But I thought you might speak to those 2 items.
Sure. So as of tonight, Sullivan County has already passed a resolution of $240,000 to support this. The city of Kingsport has passed a resolution of $250,000, and tonight would be $240,000 should it pass. I also have already presented to the Johnson City Commission, and will do so again on April 3rd. And then both Bristol, Tennessee, and Bristol, Virginia are presenting and discussing this at work sessions this month. As far as whether it would all be spent or not, go back to that term minimum revenue guarantee. If and it's based on ticketed revenue, and it's not just the airfare that's paid, but ancillary sales as well, seat upgrades, baggage. It's the total amount. So I'm gonna make up a number, a theoretical number. So that's divisible by even. So let's say that each segment or leg that the airline needs to generate $10,000 in ticketed revenue. If they only generate $8,000, then the only difference made up would be $2,000, and that, based on the formula we would use, would be spread over all the partners. So in this case, at 240, close to 12%. So then we would only use 12% of Washington County's funds that are committed to pay that bill. So it would be spent prorated, would be a simpler way of saying that. Does that answer the question? Thank you.
You might also mention that this is not just a public funding, but also private individuals, companies are also participating.
It is, and so to help get this, it's important that the airport help with talent attraction and retention, business attraction and retention. Having direct service to multiple new markets allows businesses, local companies to attract and retain employees, but it also helps this entire region attract businesses. And as part of that, as of right now, we do have multiple private company donations, and we're waiting to hear on multiple others, but it will be a true public-private partnership that will be a great value and benefit to the region.
Commissioner Tomita?
So this is pro rata, will be paid pro rata by the partners in the airport. What if all of them don't participate?
Well, right now they are from what they haven't voted, but they have said that they're going to participate. We had a meeting Friday at Northeast State with representatives from every community that are owners of the airport, being Bristol, Virginia, Bristol, Tennessee, Washington and Sullivan County, Kingsport and Johnson City. If they didn't participate, obviously it would make it more difficult to get to the $2 million mark also. But if we would have to face that if that happened, but right now we do not foresee that happening based on feedback in a meeting on Friday.
So what
if we raise the 2 million with or without them, we would still proceed because their service is very, very important to the region.
But you do have to raise the 2 million to be able to move forward. That's the minimum revenue here.
We have to have that committed to be able to move forward, but it doesn't mean that all of it would be spent. If they exceeded expectations, then what the dream that you would love is, you're a year in and it's going so well, we look at another flight, which would be very beneficial. And the reason it's important, it's in your handout there. That chart shows at Tri, we only have 11% low cost seats against a national average of 36%. But one of our closest competitors have 41% low cost seats. And that's why it makes it very difficult budget wise to fly as much as we would like for people to out of Tri.
And this is a low cost carrier.
It is a low cost carrier. Another stat that really hits home is 270,000 people fly out of Tri right now, but there's 400,000 flying out of another airport that could fly out of this service. That is a big number.
Commissioner Tucker, did you have a question?
Just a little bit. What interested me when we had a meeting at CIA with the competition coming here is going to lower our Tri seats are more expensive than our competition. So with all this approved, maybe you can hit on how it's going to lower the cost for an average flight out here for everybody in this area.
So Bridge engaged a national consultant. The name is Mead & Hunt. They do air service and airport consulting across the nation. Their research shows by bringing additional low-cost competition into the market, it historically would be the better word, lowers airfares 7 to 9% across all carriers. The importance of that is, according to Bureau of Transportation Statistics, their last published report, the average airfare out of Tri was $590 some round trip, with our closest two competitors being $360 and $400. And so we need to get closer to the national average with incentives like this. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Call question.
Question's been called. We
Thank
appreciate
you
you
very
being
much.
here, sir. Thank you so much. Madam Clerk, if you'll switch us to the voting screen. Go ahead and cast your vote and lock it in. Madam Clerk, you can announce the vote. 11 yes, 4 absent, and the resolution passes. Any other items, Commissioner Wexler?
I think that's it.
All right. All right, our next item is the Health, Education, and Welfare Committee. Commissioner Carter.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Our minutes are on page 50 from our March 6th meeting. It was pretty jam-packed. We have 6 resolutions for this evening. The first one is resolution number 25-03-06. It's a resolution approving and authorizing certain education capital projects fund expenditures up to $2,200,000 in fiscal year 25 for the design, engineering, and construction of a new boiler chiller system for Daniel Boone High School. This comes to you as a recommendation from the committee, and I move for its approval.
Motion made by Commissioner Carter, seconded by Commissioner Huffine to approve the resolution. Question or discussion? Question's been called. Madam Clerk, if you'll switch us to the voting screen. Go ahead and cast your vote and lock it in. Madam Clerk, if you'll announce the vote, 11 yes, 4 absent, and the resolution passes. Commissioner Carter?
Next resolution is number 25-03-07. It's a resolution approving and authorizing certain capital projects fund spending up to $15,000 in fiscal year 25 for the Gray Library move, amending fiscal year 2025 budget. This comes to you as a recommendation from the committee, and I move for its approval.
Motion made to approve the resolution by Commissioner Carter, second by Commissioner Jones. Question or discussion?
Call for the question.
Question's been called. Madam Clerk, if you'll switch us to the voting screen. Go ahead and cast your vote and lock it in. Madam Clerk, if you'll announce the vote, if I get my voting done. 11 yes, 4 absent, the resolution passes. Hey, I gotta turn on the sound, click the button, you know, I mean, and then we start all over again. Commissioner Carter?
Thank you. Our third resolution is resolution number 25-03-08. It's a resolution approving and authorizing certain capital projects fund spending up to $4,000 in fiscal year 25 for the new Gray Library signage cost and amending fiscal year 2025 budget. This comes to you as a recommendation from the committee, and I move for its approval.
Motion made by Commissioner Carter, seconded by Commissioner Wexler. Question or discussion?
Call the question.
Question's been called. Madam Clerk, if you'll switch us to the voting screen, go ahead and cast your vote and lock it in. Madam Clerk, if you'll announce the vote, 11 yes, 4 absent, the resolution passes. Commissioner Carter?
Thank you. Our next resolution is number 25-03-09. It's a resolution authorizing Washington County, Tennessee's acceptance and execution of the Tennessee Housing Development Agency Home Program Grant. This comes to you as a recommendation from the committee, and I move for its approval.
Motion made by Commissioner Carter, seconded by Commissioner Wexler to approve the resolution. Question or discussion?
Call the question.
Question's been called. Madam Clerk, if you'll switch us to the voting screen, go ahead and cast your vote and lock it in. Madam Clerk, if you'll announce the vote, 11 yes, 4 absent, the resolution passes. Commissioner Carter?
Our next resolution is number 25-03-10. It's a resolution supporting the commitment of $586,000 in fiscal year 26 for the detention center, mental health, and pre-arrest diversion programs to be funded from the opioid special revenue. This comes to you as a recommendation from the committee, and I move for its approval.
Motion made by Commissioner Carter, second by Commissioner Wexler to approve the resolution. Question or discussion? Question's been called. Madam Clerk, if you'll switch us to the voting screen, please. Go ahead and cast your vote and lock it in. Madam Clerk, if you'll announce the vote, 11 yes, 4 absent, the resolution passes. Commissioner Carter?
Thank you. And our last resolution is number 25-03-11. It's a resolution supporting the commitment of $125,000 in fiscal year 26 for the Northeast Tennessee Regional Recovery Center programs to be funded from the opioid special revenue. This comes to you as a recommendation from the committee, and I move for its approval.
Motion made by Commissioner Carter, seconded by Commissioner Wexler to approve the resolution. Question or discussion?
All question.
Question's been called. Madam Clerk, if you'll switch to the voting screen, please. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought somebody called a question. I didn't see you, Commissioner Malone.
No worries.
All right.
No worries, and I'll be brief, but I'm just curious, and I don't know if the committee or the mayor could add some insight. I could not help but chuckle a little when I saw this one on the agenda because, and this may predate the current commission term, but I think I recall when we approved funding originally for the Northeast Tennessee Recovery Center, they were adamant at the time that they would not come back and ask for operational money. So there was, and I'm supportive, it's coming out of the opioid dollars, but I'm curious if these dollars are being spent for operational monies. And I didn't see anything in the packet. Were there any materials provided? In fact, I think when we approved funding several years ago, I think it was under some condition. And again, there'll be time for this in the future, I hope, but I think I recall that we were supposed to be getting data, empirical data about how it's working, what's good, what's bad, and, financially and those sort of things. So I didn't see anything in the packet. One, again, I was curious if this was operational monies. And two, have we received any information about how it's working?
You call this program, well, anti-drug program, so it's been operational now for its first 18 months. It's graduated 20 folks that have left the facility, trained with the job. About half of them have actually bought a car while they were there. So program working, yeah, working like crazy. And so in addition to that, there's 12 females in Johnson City. Same result there. Is this operational money? I think so. Like everything else, the costs are a lot different than we projected this 3 years ago, or the people projected it that were. And so the ask was for the local communities engaged to collectively put in $500,000 that out of the fund, another $500,000 would go in, and we asked the state for the balance. So that's where we are now. We're teaming up with the other partners with this ask.
Thank you for the update. And I mean, I'm supportive again that it's coming out of the opioid monies, and that's it's programs like this that we have to support. I remember there being said, no, there would not be an operational ask. What about info and just, I would appreciate an update from time to time. I think once a year or once every other year, or maybe once with each cohort every 18 months. Maybe just a little update about, hey, it's going great, and here's some of the successes. It would just be interesting to hear how the money is being invested.
I think that's appropriate, and we put out a lot of money. Y'all put out a lot of money, $10 million worth. So all of the other programs, I think it's time we probably got an update. So we'll work on making that happen. That's a very good suggestion.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. Is there any other questions? I apologize again, Commissioner Malone, I didn't see your hand up. Madam Clerk, let's go ahead and move forward with the voting screen. Go ahead and cast your vote and lock it in. Madam Clerk, if you'll announce the vote, 11 yes, 4 absent, and the resolution passes. All right, next, did you have anything else, Commissioner Carter? All right. The next item is Investment Committee. Our trustees here with us. And so we was going to do the Investment Committee and the trustees report all wrapped into one. Rick, do you have anything for us this evening?
I'm not answering some questions. Yes. Collections will look very, very good.
Do we have a tax sale?
We just collect.
Oh. Oh, I see. Oh, the clerk and master, yeah.
They also.
Oh, good. Why don't you come up here and tell us that? Can you come up here and tell us that, or do you want me to get the clerk and master next month? You can tell her you saved her a trip down the hall. I know we should really, but maybe we will anyway.
I don't think it'd be any better up here.
We could back there, but, they did have a tax sale, 42 parcels, and I think it was within $20 of being $2 million. So that was a very, very good sales, and I think the clerk and master took in enough money on the sale to not only pay 23, but 20 taxes on the property that was involved. So that was a very good sale on that.
Absolutely.
And as I said, our collections for the 24 taxes, we're right at 95.1%, which is, I don't have a secret there. I think the citizens of Washington County just, put their mind to it. They were going to pay tax and get it out of the way. And if I'm not mistaken, it's probably the best tax collection year that I can remember.
Great. That's great news. And none of that property struck off to the county.
That's correct.
That's great.
This is fourth year.
I think that's
I
right.
think it's the fourth year that's happened.
Yeah, and I know that's.
I mean, that's good for that, but as we said in investment committee, the downside of that is, we don't have any parcels to try to work something out with Habitat or ASP or anything like that, because they're really looking for property, and those properties, as far as us coming up with properties, is if it keeps this, that'd be non-existent almost in the county.
Absolutely. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rick. We appreciate you. Rick does so many different jobs. There's a lot of folks involved in that tax sale, a lot of hard work, and we appreciate them, our attorneys and everybody involved, and especially our clerk and master. And we just appreciate them so much. Next item is our Public Safety Committee report. Commissioner Jones, I'm running out of people to call on for committees tonight.
Thank you, Chairman. You can see the minutes and attachments from our Public Safety Committee meeting on March 6th. On page 115, I have 2 resolutions for you tonight. First, consider resolution number 250312, resolution approving and authorizing certain capital projects fund spending up to $160,000 in fiscal year 25 for Sheriff's Office security camera upgrades. That's on page 122. It comes with a recommendation from the committee, and I bring it to you in the form of a motion.
Right. Motion by Commissioner Jones, seconded by Commissioner Tucker to approve the resolution. Question or discussion?
Call the question.
Question's been called. Madam Clerk, if you'll switch us to the voting screen, go ahead and cast your vote and lock it in. Madam Clerk, you announce the vote. 11 yes, 4 absent, and the resolution passes. Commissioner Jones?
Next, consider resolution number 250313, resolution approving and authorizing agreement between East Tennessee State University, Department of Family Medicine, and Washington County, Tennessee. That's on page 124. It comes with a recommendation from the committee, and I bring it to you in the form of a motion.
All right. Motion made by Commissioner Jones. Have a second? Second by Commissioner Tamita. Discussion?
Call the question.
Question's been called. Madam Clerk, if you'll switch us to the voting screen, please. Go ahead and cast your vote and lock it in. Madam Clerk, you can announce the vote. 11 yes, 4 absent, and the resolution passes. All right, anything else, Commissioner Jones? Kind of light for public safety. Sheriff's been easy on you over there this past month. Yeah, sheriff's been easy. Yeah. We'll be looking forward to next month, Sheriff. Public Works Committee. Commissioner Tucker, it looks like you're gonna have to bail us out tonight. That's all I can tell you. Well, listen, I'm down to, I don't know what, I don't know who to call on. So listen, I'm good. Marty, you can take over, buddy.
All right, you can find our minutes on page 130 from our March 6th meeting. We have 5 resolutions to consider. First would be resolution number 250314, a resolution adopting the Washington County road list. You can find that on page 132. This comes as a recommendation from the committee. I'll move for its approval.
Motion made by Commissioner Johnson, seconded by Commissioner Wexler to approve the resolution. Question or discussion?
Call the question.
Question's been called. Madam Clerk, if you'll switch us to the voting screen. Go ahead and cast your vote and lock it in. Madam Clerk, you can announce the vote. 11 yes, 4 absent. The resolution passes. Commissioner Johnson?
Next, we have resolution number 250315, a resolution adopting the revisions to the Washington County road list. You can find that on page 135. It comes as a recommendation from the committee, and I'll move for its approval.
Motion made by Commissioner Johnson, second by Commissioner Wexler to approve the resolution. Question or discussion?
Call the question.
Question's been called. Madam Clerk, if you'll switch us to the voting screen, go ahead and cast your vote and lock it in. Madam Clerk, if you'll announce the vote. 11 yes, 4 absent. The resolution passes. Commissioner Johnson?
Next, we have resolution number 250316, resolution authorizing Washington County, Tennessee's acceptance and execution of the Community Development Block Grant, found on page 137. This comes to you as a recommendation from the committee, and I'll move for its approval.
Motion made by Commissioner Johnson, seconded by Commissioner Wexler to approve the resolution. Question or discussion?
Call for the question.
Call for the question. The question's been called. Madam Clerk, if you'll switch us to the voting screen, please. Go ahead and cast your vote and lock it in. Madam Clerk, if you'll announce the vote. 11 yes, 4 absent. The resolution passes. Commissioner Johnson?
You can find the next resolution on page 139. It's resolution number 250317, resolution amending fiscal year budget 2024-2025, reason solid waste replacement of 1 compactor and 8 roll-off containers. This does come to you as a recommendation from the committee, and I'm going to
Motion made by Commissioner Johnson, seconded by Commissioner Tomita. Question or discussion?
Call the question.
Question's been called. Madam Clerk, if you'll switch to the voting screen, please. Go ahead and cast your vote and lock it in. Madam Clerk, if you'll announce the vote. 11 yes, 4 absent. The resolution passes. Commissioner Johnson?
The last one we have is resolution number 250318, resolution amending the fiscal year budget 2024-2025, solid waste air turbine incinerator. This comes as a recommendation, and I'm moving for its approval.
Motion made by Commissioner Johnson, seconded by Commissioner Tomita to approve the resolution. Question or discussion? Question's been called. Madam Clerk, if you'll switch us to the voting screen, please. Go ahead and cast your vote and lock it in. Madam Clerk, if you'll announce the vote. 11 yes, 4 absent. The resolution passes. Anything else, Commissioner Johnson? Thank you. I appreciate you. You've done a great job.
Very good job.
All right, the Safety Committee report you'll find in your packet. Director Haney is here with us this evening. He's ready to make a comment if you feel like you'd like to hear from him. And that's on page 143. Is there any questions for Director Haney? All right, seeing none, we'll move right into the Water Task Force report. Commissioner Tucker. we're not gonna give you a break tonight.
So we met on March the third for the water task force, and got some updates, but the main lady, what's her name? Joe? Jill didn't come, so she had all the answers for it, so we couldn't get that. So we rescheduled another meeting coming up next month. And you can find our minutes on page 145.
All right. Any questions for Commissioner Tucker? Seeing none, thank you, Commissioner Tucker. And with that being said, we'll move right on into the Budget Committee report. Commissioner Carter, we've got your number tonight, don't we?
You'll find our minutes on page 146. And I think after we go through the resolutions, the mayor or Mitch would like to say something, I believe. So if they're up to it, we'll go through our resolutions first. We've got resolution number 25-03-19. That's the resolution amending fiscal year budget 2024-2025 on the recovery court increase in mental health and substance abuse grant. This comes to you as a recommendation from the committee, and I move for its approval.
Motion made by Commissioner Carter to approve the resolution, seconded by Commissioner Comita. Question or discussion?
All question.
Question's been called. Madam Clerk, if you'll switch us to the voting screen, please. Go ahead and cast your vote and lock it in. Madam Clerk, you can announce the vote. 11 yes, 4 absent. The resolution passes. Commissioner Carter?
Thank you. Our next resolution is number 25-03-20. It's a resolution amending this year, 2025 circuit court clerk audio visual equipment. And this comes to you as a recommendation from the committee, and I move for its approval.
Motion made by Commissioner Carter to approve the resolution, seconded by Commissioner Wexler. Question or discussion?
Call for the question.
Question's been called. Madam Clerk, if you'll switch us to the voting screen, please. Go ahead and cast your vote and lock it in. Madam Clerk, if you'll announce the vote. 11 yes, 4 absent. The resolution passes. Commissioner Carter?
Our last resolution is number 25-03-21. It's the resolution approving and authorizing certain capital projects fund spending up to $27,000 in fiscal year 25 for Emergency Management Agency office renovation project. And this comes to you as a recommendation from the committee, and I move for its approval.
Motion made by Commissioner Carter, seconded by Commissioner Stout to approve the resolution. Question or discussion?
Call for the question.
Question's been called. Madam Clerk, if you'll switch to the voting screen, please. Go ahead and cast your vote and lock it in. Madam Clerk, if you'll announce the vote. 11 yes, 4 absent. Resolution passes. Anything else, Commissioner Carter?
I believe that Mayor Grady has something.
Oh, that's right. Mayor Grandy, he's got a little couple of sentences left in him.
Okay. So at the budget committee meeting this month, we introduced to the budget committee the advisors that we have used in the past for bond office. So we have a bond advisor and we have bond counsel, two separate. Bond advisor is Raymond James. Elizabeth took over for Rick Delaney, who retired about 18 months ago and had worked with us through a lot of very challenging issues. We miss Rick, but Elizabeth, I think she was the brains behind him anyway, to be honest with you. So that's Raymond James. And so bond counsel, we're using Lillian Blackshear with Bass, Berry, and Sims. It's important to keep those two entities separate. So the expectation is, in order to begin our rebuilding process for roads, bridges, etc., we will bring you next month a plan that we've been working on. They've been putting together. We've been going back and forth on it. We were with them again today for essentially working capital, to be repaid by FEMA state as the process goes on. So, currently, we're looking at a 10-year capital outlay note in the amount of somewhere in the neighborhood of $50 million. And, so, you may recall.
Mayor, if you'd move up closer to the microphone, I got several folks that said they can't hear you, and I understand.
Well, I don't want them to hear.
Uh,
No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so a bond offering of $50 million for roads, bridges, other, we have a convenience center that was lost. We have a highway block that was lost and needs to be rebuilt. So still working on the exact number, but that's about where we think it'll be. You may recall that when the legislature met in special session, they approved $110 million in that special session to be used for interest expense on money that local government needs to borrow to build their projects for the first 3 years, up to 5% annually. So that's the model that we're building on. That was approved. And so I believe that we'll have everything sort of put together for y'all to take a look at next month and maybe get this bond offering out before the end of the fiscal year. So just wanted to share that with you. Mitch is here if you have any questions that are Mitch questions or any other thing regarding this.
Will this come through the budget committee next month, Mayor? Is that how that'll
That
work?
would be the plan, yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
And Elizabeth will be here physically for our commission meeting next month to present a lot of documentation, as you can imagine, and to answer any questions.
Commissioner Jones?
I think you just answered my question, but, will this include like a detailed description of all the different projects and what their estimated costs are?
It will, yep, yep. And now, really, I think we know what the projects are. We are just trying to pull the amounts together. And there's one project that may be bigger than we like to think that we don't have a final answer on now. We're just gonna have to think about taking our best swag, and that is roads that are being destroyed today and debris trucks rolling over them and rock trucks and all the rest. Now, hey, you know, that's part of getting county bill back. You gotta put up, but at the end, you know, we've gotta rebuild those roads, and there so far hasn't been a FEMA funding plan to do that. So the state's looking at it. Every county up here has the same issue. So, you know, they're working for a regional solution with DDOT.
Anticipate any impact on the credit rating?
No, we'll have a credit rating call before we issue, so we will know that in advance. But, you know, the devastation was amazing to individuals and to some of our infrastructure. But unlike Unicoi County, for example, you know, we didn't lose our business, and we didn't, so our revenue appears to be less impacted. It'll be impacted some, but certainly less impacted than some of the other counties. So we have, you may remember Mitch saying that, you know, initially the rating agencies came out and put everybody in Northeast Tennessee on a kind of a credit watch. We have, and then issued, as you can imagine, David, I know you've been through this, 1 million questions to explain why we should or should not be on a watch. And so after that, we were taken off, and so we anticipate our credit rating to be solid.
All right.
Thank you. Appreciate you putting up with it.
Thank you, Mayor. We appreciate you. All right, anything else, Commissioner Carter?
That's all, thank you.
All right. We don't have any old business to report to you this evening. Want We do have notaries. 250322 is a resolution approving the election of notaries public for appointment and or reappointment for Washington County, Tennessee. Motion by Commissioner Tomita to approve the resolution, seconded by Commissioner Wexler.
Call for the question.
Question's been called. Madam Clerk, switch us to the voting screen, please. Go ahead and cast your vote and lock it in. If you'll announce the vote, Madam Clerk, 11 yes, 4 absent, the resolution passes. There is one little bit of new business I've been a little bit concerned about. We probably need to address tonight. And our attorney, as you received a notice of retirement of Judge Lincoln yesterday, or last week, it was late last week, we really didn't have time to get this out to you on the agenda because it transpired after that. It says that we really need to vote to accept his resignation. So if I could add that under the new business agenda as an item, Commissioner Jones.
I'll move that we accept his resignation.
All right. Seconded by Commissioner Wexler. All right. This will take a 2/3 vote to just approve it, right? Since we're adding it to the agenda, is that right?
Oh, as to changing the agenda.
Since we're changing the agenda.
Yeah.
Commissioner England?
Yeah.
It also says in here that I'm resigning.
No, we don't accept those at commission meetings.
That's the typo.
Yes.
You just want to see if we were gonna read it. She said that, I was like, I can't paste there.
Well, let's get to voting, or y'all will be thinking about somebody else resigning. So let's don't do that. We need you here. All right, we got the voting screen up. So if you'll lock your vote in, Madam Clerk, if you announce the vote, 11 yes and 4 absent. So that does make up for our 2/3 requirement on that vote, since it was not on the agenda. So our next item to announce is the cutoff date and time for next month's county commission agenda is April the 10th at 12 noon. Remember to watch your meeting notices because there has been a little bit of a change on our monthly meeting schedule for Wednesday instead of Thursday. And that's due to some issues with the elevator repair on Thursday. So we want to get in there and make sure the public has access. Me and the mayor discussed that, and I felt like that was a good idea to have them have access with the elevator before the elevator repair starts on Thursday. All right, seeing nothing else, all those in favor of adjourning signify by saying aye. All opposed? All right. We're adjourned.